What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends X-Force series, X-Force Wolverine. Here we do have Wolverine in his X-Force color scheme. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get him opened up, and then we'll have a better look at Wolverine. Stay tuned, everyone. And so here we have the X-Force Wolverine pose and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what he comes with. X-Force Wolverine does come with the head of the Wendigo Build-A-Figure, which we'll have a better look at when he's all put together. Other than that, X-Force Wolverine does not come with anything else, no alternate hands, which is surprising. I would have liked to see maybe an angry, yelling face that could have been repainted, but we didn't get that, unfortunately. So what we're going to do now is actually move on to Wolverine's details. And so here we have a better look at Wolverine, and he is done really well. I really do like this costume. I thought I wasn't going to like it, but I really do love the X-Force color scheme, and Hasbro did a really good job with this figure. Now, this is their second attempt at the X-Force Wolverine. I don't have their first attempt, but I know this is a much better figure, only because they seem to have nailed Wolverine's body build. Taking a look at his head sculpt, you can see he has the standard Wolverine face, which looks really good. I am actually impressed with how nice this head looks. Now, originally I did think this was the brown suit Wolverine head sculpt, but it's actually a new head sculpt. Or if it's the same, it's been retweaked because the ears actually cut up at the right here a little bit more, and there's actually some line work right here, which I don't believe was on the brown suit Wolverine. But I don't have that figure on hand, and it's somewhere in storage, so I really can't compare him. And he doesn't seem to have that black stripe going along the bottom, so I do want to say that this is a new head sculpt. If it's not, you guys can correct me down in the comments. But he does use, for the most part, most of the brown suit Wolverine's body. Now, I say most because there are some retweaks to him. For example, he's using the exact same torso that we've seen on just about every Wolverine figure now. The same arms. The biceps from, I want to say this is the, it's not the Tiger Stripe Wolverine, because the Tiger Stripe Wolverine had bigger biceps, and this looks like it's a brown suit. He does have completely new forearms, and you can see all the work they did in his forearms. They look really, really good. Really love the detail that they put in here. His gloves do have a little bit of detail. You can see it looks like he has some, I don't know, padding right here on his knuckles. I don't know why he wouldn't need padding on his knuckles, because he kind of has the claws coming out. But one thing I do want to point out are these claws. These are really, really nice claws. They are much bigger and thicker than all the other Wolverine claws that we have. And for the most part, they did come out straight out of packaging. You can see this middle one is a little bit off-centered. This one is a little bit better, but yeah, these are really, really thick claws. I really do like that. His gray and black motif does continue throughout his costume. You can see the gray is fairly well. They did a pretty decent job on the gray. It's not too crazy. It actually looks good, so really good job there that they didn't mess up the gray paint too much on his torso. I like the way they did the belt. It has the X-Men logo right here, but it's not his traditional just plain belt. It has some pouches, almost looking like a bigger version of the X-23 X-Force belt, which I'm pretty sure it's modeled after that. But we have that same gray motif going down the sides. You can see where the seams connect, the paintwork is a little bit sloppy. Going down his torso, or his legs, you can see the paint is a little bit off-centered just because of how it was painted. We have a little slop right here, but it's not too bad. And then we also do get some really nice boots with some clips right here. The straps going all the way around look good. He even has these new boots, and again you can see those clips right there. So overall, really loving this Wolverine figure, and we can see some fake treads. Yes, they are fake treads only because they go on the outside, not the bottom of his foot. So overall, they did a really good job with this Wolverine. So what we're going to do now is actually get him compared to a few other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Wolverine posed next to a DC Multiverse Superman and a Marvel Legends Cyclops. Here we have Wolverine posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have the X-Force Wolverine posed next to the Tiger Stripe Wolverine and Weapon X. And finally, here we have X-Force Wolverine posed next to X-Force Deadpool and X-Force X-23. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Wolverine's articulation. He does have the standard Wolverine articulation. He does have a ball joint in the head, which works okay. You can see he does look up and down. Well, he kind of looks up, and then he kind of looks down. His head is on a ball hinge, which does let him look up about that far. He can bury his chin into his chest really, really well. And of course, we do get rotation on that joint. And we get very little pivot on that, so it's really minuscule. It's really not even something you can count. Arms seem to be on ratchet joints. They do go all the way around. They do go out to about all the way horizontal, which is good. It's just a little stiff on this side. On this side, I have no problem. We do have a bicep swivel, which works really well. Double bend in the elbow, but because he has such a big bulging bicep, we don't get all the way up, but we do get past 90. He does swivel and hinge at the wrist, so that works really, really good. He does have a butterfly joint, which lets his arms go back to about that far, come forward to about that far. He has an ab crunch, which goes all the way back, which is really good, all the way forward, what we've come to expect for Wolverine figures. Waist swivel. Legs do kick forward all the way up. They kick back about that far, go out to the side really well, and I just noticed that there's a flat part right here. Did I do that? No, I don't think that I did that. That actually looks like it was cut by a blade. Huh, interesting. But yeah, legs do go out to about there. Swivel at the thigh, double bend in the knee. This knee is a little bit stiff. Okay, so this part of the knee is stiff. This part has no detents, so it does not hold its shape. As you can see, this one has detents, so it works really good. This one is really smooth, so it really doesn't hold too much weight, unfortunately. Surprisingly enough, we don't get a boot swivel with this Wolverine, which I thought we would, but no boot swivel. This is all just a molded piece, which is surprising. We do have a hinge in the ankle, which goes back about that far. Goes not too far forward. Let's see if we can. Nope, his ankle does not hinge forward, but we do get forward-facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, a really nice figure, and I am really glad to have an X-Force Wolverine in my collection. This is actually one of my favorite Wolverine costumes. It's probably my favorite behind the Tiger Stripe Jim Lee one, and maybe behind the Astonishing look, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a look at my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have X-Force Wolverine posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I love the way this figure came out. This is one of my favorite Wolverine costumes, as I did state, maybe behind the Astonishing and Tiger Stripe, but it's really high up on my list, and I am really glad that Hasbro was able to revisit this figure and release it to us with this really awesome Wolverine mold. It is a little bit surprising that they retooled the calves so that the boots are one piece with the lower leg. I would have liked to see some boot swivel just so we can get some better rocker ankle out of this figure. But as it stands, this is still a really nice figure. The gigantic claws on him make him look really menacing. The only thing that I say he needed would have been a yelling face, and Hasbro is really good at making yelling faces with a masked Wolverine. Yelling unmasked Wolverine faces is another story, but this is still a really nice figure, and I am glad to have him in my collection. He is essential to completing the Wendigo. If you are looking to make Wendigo, Wolverine does come with the head, and that is one figure that is necessary to complete Wendigo. If you are looking for the X-Force Wolverine, I have seen the X-Force wave starting to hit stores at the time I'm making this video, so check your Walmarts, Targets, and even your Walgreens. I picked up my entire case off Big Bad Toy Store for about $130, which comes out to about $21 a figure, which is what you're paying at retail. So if you can find this figure, I really do recommend you pick him up, especially if you're a fan of Wolverine and his X-Force color scheme. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Marvel Legend videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, Let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.